Tomorrow, our summer mini-series Deadly Second Chances returns with episode 3. And trust me, it's going to get weird. But before we go forward, we need to look back. Way back. Tonight we're serving up 3 tales of tricks, blood, and a little interdimensional doom to spice things up. First, we pay a visit to Calvin Mirren, a rich kid with rotten secrets, whose Halloween night ends with ice, stitches, and some missing parts. Then it's off to Strickfield Academy, where a rebellious runaway finds a cursed book and becomes something much, much worse. And finally, we leave Earth altogether and face the one and only Hellweaver, a cosmic horror who wants to turn the multiverse into her personal haunted house. So settle in, my spookies. It's time to brush up on the horror before the next deadly second chance knocks on your door. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss a single moment of spooky. And now, let's begin. The Halloween Heist by Rob Fields. I don't mind telling you how great it is to wake up to a nice, warm, female body most every morning, especially during the fall and winter months. Take this morning, for example. I'm kinda in between sleep and being awake, but I can feel the soft, warm, naked body I'm spooned up with. Then I hear her moaning softly and feel her move to lay on her back. Okay, now I'm fully awake. I start feeling her up and then we kiss. Soon we're having some really awesome morning sex. I usually only do morning sex when the night before was just as incredible. We end up going a couple of rounds before we finally decide we're satisfied. Now I remember the girl I brought to my loft. Her name is Kitty. Oh yeah, I remember the names of all the girls I've ever slept with, and for good reason. I'll get to that. I met Kitty at Shaker's, a bar that Strickfield University's students tend to hang out at. I usually frequent a few of the local bars and even a few outside of Strickfield to find that perfect girl, or the occasional woman, to take to bed, at least for a night. Kitty really stood out for me last night. I mean, this girl is perfectly stacked. Great body, great face, awesome rack, hot ass. Normally, I only have to turn on the charm to get a girl to come to bed with me. But once in a while, the girls just come right to you. That was Kitty. I bought Kitty a few drinks and just talked with her about whatever she wanted to talk about. See, that's one of the ways you're guaranteed to get girls into your bed. They need to know you're genuinely interested in them. They just want to know you care. And of course, you need to make sure you keep your body finely toned, which means watching your diet and making sure you work out most every day. Getting back to Kitty, the girl was practically begging me to take her to bed. She wore a very form-fitting dress that basically told me she wasn't wearing any underwear. I was right when I got her back to the loft and got her dress off. Kitty and I pounded each other many times last night. We just couldn't get enough. Normally, after I've had a girl for a night, we part ways. Sometimes I'll get a girl that wants more than just one night. Sometimes I make an exception or two, depending on the girl and how good the sex really was, but most of the time, I just tell them I'll call them, just to get them the hell out of my loft and out of my life once and for all. But I'll let you in on a little secret. These girls aren't altogether out of my life. No, they end up being a part of my collection. See, I've got cameras set up all over the loft that record and store the content onto servers and hard drives that are rigged up. When it's time, I'll go and edit the footage and make some quality homemade adult movies that you just can't find anywhere else. Oh, and I can only imagine what kind of quality porno I'll make from Kitty's footage. While I'm thinking about it, getting girls into my bed has been so much better for me since my roommate Jacob Levine and his stupid girlfriend Genevieve Van Sant both ended up getting murdered in this loft months ago. Yeah, it freaked me the fuck out. I was staying at Raylene Jones's dorm that night. 1, I forgot a term paper that was there. 2, I'd already had sex with Raylene before I left. As I was about to come into the loft, she called me back and offered to let me spend the night. Guess we both wanted more of each other, and I needed that term paper. So there you go. The funny thing was, I came back here the next day and found this message written in blood that told me I was glad I didn't actually come in. Knowing I had the loft all to myself, I quickly got that blood off the walls and got the room repainted. Since Jacob wasn't here anymore, that meant I could keep whatever he had. I mean, nobody in his family ever came to claim anything. That included all the cameras he'd set up. See, Jacob and Genevieve were making homemade porn together. Yeah, she knew about it because she knowingly looked at the cameras. As for me, I managed to cleverly hide the cameras well enough after I took over the loft. Not a single girl I brought here ever discovered them. But you know what the beauty of being able to make homemade porn is? There are actually a few websites, I won't say which ones, that'll pay some damn good money for these movies. Being a Mirren, I've got more money than I'll ever know what to do with, but enough is never enough, right? Every now and then I'll just sell a video to one of those sites and make some damn good money. As for the girl in the video, who really cares? She ought to be happy that she's getting a lot of attention. Talk about getting to the height of your popularity, and if one of them ends up catching a lot of shit for it, oh well. Come to think of it, Kitty has about the same build as a girl I remember sleeping with that I sold a video of. Catherine Pierce. Not only did Catherine get expelled by the dean of Strickfield University himself, her parents disowned her. Now, I do know the thing about the dean is true, but the thing with her parents might just be rumors. Still, not a single girl ever came back to find me. Why would they? They can't prove that I was in the video. I am very careful to keep my face out of them. All they see is my body, all of her face and body, and all the compromising positions that we did. What are they going to do? Take me to court and sue me? Let them try. What people fail to understand is that I'm Calvin Mirren. That's right, I belong to the rich and powerful Mirren family. We've got so much money that we actually own a whole section of Strickfield Commons, a housing community made up of mostly rich people on the east side of Strickfield. We even have our own section walled off to separate ourselves from everybody else. It's been said that we're the top 1% of the top 1%. That's the kind of money I'm talking about. Just being a Mirren means that I can get away with pretty much whatever I want. But okay, I'm getting too much into myself here, which isn't really a bad thing. Kitty and I finish our morning sex. I roll off her and onto my back. Then Kitty turns over and gets on top of me. "Happy Halloween," she cheers. Then she kisses me. I go ahead and kiss her some more. No, I can't let this girl become a part of my life, but she's so fucking hot. Okay, maybe I can keep her around a little while longer. I have made a few exceptions like this in the past. "You're in a pretty good mood today," I say. She pecks my lips. "Well, we just had fucking incredible sex, and it's Halloween! I love Halloween. That means trick-or-treating and all kinds of other fun things like parties, ooh, and costumes." I roll my eyes. "Oh, come on. You're telling me you go trick-or-treating?" She groans. "Don't you dare roll your eyes at me, Calvin. Strickfield has their yearly tradition of trick-or-treating. It's not just for kids here. Anybody can do it. No questions asked, no judgments." She's telling the truth. Many years ago, Strickfield got to be this big Halloween town, in addition to being a big college town. Normally, in most other parts of the country, trick-or-treating is basically limited to just kids. But in Strickfield, it doesn't matter how old you are. Anybody's welcome to do it. People of all ages drive in from other towns just to trick-or-treat right here. Just don't ever think about coming to our part of town to do it. The gates of our part of Strickfield Commons are never open, unless we want them open. "Okay, you're going trick-or-treating," I reply. "Well, not just me. Kitty reveals. I've got my 2 roommates coming too, Jamie and Lena. We're gonna go trick-or-treating and then to a Halloween party afterwards. Sounds like fun, I say, just to make conversation. Then, Kitty's face brightens up. Oh my God, you should totally come with us tonight. Come on, it'll be fun. I raise my hand a little and shake my head. No, I don't think so. I'm not much into Halloween. Kitty moves and sits on me. I have to admit, I love Kitty's naked body from this angle. Then she caresses her tits just a little. I know my girls would just love to meet you. They're going to ask why I never came home last night. Come on, baby. They're both hot like me. It'll be so much fun. Fine. Kitty's just guaranteed another night with me tonight. To be honest, I won't mind taking this fully stacked babe to bed again. Kitty squeals with delight and finally gets off me. I actually let her take a shower here, which I usually never let girls I don't want to see again do. I get in the shower with her and we make out some more. When we finish, we both get dressed, then we make arrangements on where to meet. Then we go our separate ways. For the time being. That night, I'm waiting for Kitty at Wilder Hall. I'm wearing my costume, which is a pirate. I just finished with an energy drink and toss the can away when I see Kitty coming in through the doors on the other side. She has 2 other girls with her. Kitty points to me, and then the 3 of them come to see me. Glad you decided to come, Kitty says excitedly. Of course she would be dressed up as a sexy kitty cat, a full form-fitting bodysuit that tells me she's still not wearing underwear and shows a lot of her ample cleavage, a long tail, stiletto boots, and cat ears on her head. Seeing all 3 of these babes in my sight at once, imagine if I could get all 3 of them together in my loft. I'll bet one of the sites would pay big money for a video of me and the 3 of them. Kitty motions to the girl on her right. This is Jamie. She's dressed up like a sexy nurse, seemingly plastic uniform that shapes to her voluptuous body nicely. White knee-high boots, a pink wig, and more cleavage. Then Kitty motions to her left. And this is Lena. She's dressed up like a sexy version of Little Red Riding Hood, revealing outfit with more cleavage, face nicely made up, red pantyhose with garter belts, red shoes, and red hair. Dyed, maybe. Kitty and Jamie have those plastic pumpkin baskets. Lena has a small picnic basket that matches her costume. All I brought was a pillowcase. Ready to go, babe? Kitty asks. Oh, I'm definitely ready, I assured her. The 4 of us leave Wilder Hall and go trick-or-treating. We go up and down 1 block and then several others. These girls want to get as much candy as they possibly can. We all end up getting some good hauls. Along the way, I learned some things about Jamie and Lena. Turns out Jamie's into having a good time more than anything. I'm definitely looking to hook up at our little party tonight, she says in her sexy voice. I'm always looking to play the nurse and let a good doctor take my temperature. Then she winks at me. Now I feel Lena move up right next to me. Oh, but Jamie, why should he limit himself to your bubble butt when he could have these? Lena makes sure nobody's around before she pulls down her top and shows me what she's packing in her upper basket. She covers them back up shortly after. You total slut! Jamie cries and unzips her top a little to show me her perfect tits. Then she covers them back up. I'm more put together than you are anyways. Kitty groans. Come on, you 2. The cops are out here patrolling tonight. We don't need to be getting arrested before we can go to our party. Oh, shit. You're right, Lena agrees. Then she wraps her arm around mine. You are coming to our party when we're done trick-or-treating, right? Well, some deliberate wishy-washiness. Remember, you have to make it about the girls if you want to get laid. Jamie wraps up my other arm. Of course he is, especially since I'm going to be the one fucking him tonight. But Kitty has something to say about that. Bitches, if anybody in our little motley trio here is taking him to bed, again, it's going to be yours truly, so back the fuck off. Now I get to hear these 3 fight and argue about who's going to be the lucky one. Yeah, I definitely want all 3 of them. I just have to work my charms on them. But I'm sure I can easily pull this off. Besides, 3 girls at once isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? I'm already imagining the kind of money I'll get for this foursome video. It's time to make this about them, if I want to make this about me. So, what do you lovely ladies do? I mean, I know you're students. Kitty told me you all were. What are you all majoring in? Turns out they're all former med students who came to Strickfield University on scholarships because of the excellent medical program there. Now they've moved on to bigger and better things, applying what they've learned. I've definitely slept with plenty of med students. I even took a class in medical terminology just to be able to keep up with their conversations. They each tell me about the medical fields they're in. None of them say anything about being nurses, but the only one who says she's a surgeon is Kitty. At Strickfield, I clocked in some decent class hours just doing surgeries. What have you operated on recently? I asked Kitty. I actually had to do kidney removals a couple of days ago, she says. The patient I was working on had non-functioning kidneys. I had to remove them both. The patient is on machines now, waiting for new donor kidneys. Once they come, I'll be putting them in. My eyes widened a little. Is doing surgery scary? Kitty shrugs. A little. But then it's always scary when you're doing different surgeries for the first time. I mean, you're always afraid you're going to fuck something up. At least when I was at Strickfield University, Dr. Pratt was there to supervise me for every surgery I performed. Jamie giggles, probably letting him take her temperature afterwards. Oh, fuck you, Kitty groans. It was never like that. It was strictly a mentor-student relationship between us. So we keep talking it up until it's 11 o'clock and trick-or-treating is officially over. Now it's time to get to the Halloween party, Jamie cheers. Where are we going again? Lena asks. To Shaker's, where else? Kitty answers. Remember, we're having a private party there. In fact, we're not far from Shaker's now. Kitty's right, Shaker's is only a block walk away from here. As soon as we get there, there's just one van in the parking lot. Usually this place is hopping on every holiday, or any reason to celebrate something. I remember picking up chicks from here every Halloween, and it's always packed. When we get to the door, there's a sign that says, closed for a private event. As soon as we get to the door, it opens and the owner comes out. The owner and Kitty exchange some pleasantries. Then the owner hands her the keys and tells her to make sure to clean up and lock up before leaving. Kitty promises she'll bring the keys by first thing. The 4 of us go inside. Kitty locks the door behind us. Then we put their hauls of candy down on a table. I turn to face them. Wait a minute. There isn't anybody else coming? Nope, Kitty chirps. It's just the 4 of us. Lena moves to the jukebox. Whoa, there's nothing but Halloween songs in here. Go ahead and play whatever you want. No quarters needed, Kitty tells her. This place is paid for and is all ours for the night, including the jukebox, pool tables, video games, and all the food and alcohol we want. As soon as Lena gets some Halloween tunes going, Jamie steps behind the bar. What do you all want? You're a bartender? I ask her. Not here, but it's great spending cash when I'm working, she says. We give Jamie our drink orders, which she makes up quite professionally. So now we're dancing to Halloween music and drinking and having an awesome time. After a while, we're all starting to feel a little drunk. Lena starts laughing and climbs up onto the bar when a Halloween song with a really fast beat starts playing. She's dancing it up as she's taking more sips of her drink. Jamie looks up at her and grins. Then she and Kitty both start squealing loudly when Lena exposes her tits. Kitty hops up onto the bar with her and dances, exposing her ample assets too. I feel Jamie's hand on my forearm. I look to her and see she's got her tits out also. How about another drink, honey? I quickly down the rest of my glass and hand it to her. Top me off, pretty lady. Jamie gives me a very sexy smile and turns around to make my drink. I keep my eyes on the show above me. Then my eyes grow wide as Kitty and Lena come together and lock lips. They kiss hungrily for a little bit before Jamie returns with my drink. Then Jamie also gets on top of the bar and starts dancing. All 3 of them take turns kissing each other in front of me as I take sips of my refill. Man, what I am going to have tonight, I say to myself. I down my drink and keep watching the show. After a little bit, I start to wonder if maybe I should have slowed down on my drinks. I try to keep my composure and keep watching the show. It's when I see Lena wrapping her arms around Kitty from behind that I'm really starting to lose my grip on things more. If I didn't know any better, I'd swear I was feeling really tired. It's becoming harder and harder to focus on these 3 sex kittens. Then I can't help myself. I just lower my head on the bar and feel myself fade away. As I'm starting to wake up, I'm feeling really, really cold. I have to force myself to wake up completely. I have to see where those 3 lovelies are. But they're not here. What the fuck? I groan. I see that I'm in a bathroom that looks like it's in some cheap motel somewhere. Then I look down to see the tub is completely filled with ice. What the fuck? I yell. I'm ready to pull myself out, but then I see a little table next to the tub. My smartphone's on it and has a message taped to it. Do not leave the tub. Call 911 for an ambulance now. I don't fuck around and quickly call 911. I tell the operator what's going on, and I don't know where I am. She's able to trace the call and says she's sending an ambulance now. When I finish the call, I just sit here and wait. It's only a matter of minutes before I hear the door to the motel room opening up. Then 2 paramedics come in. They both gasp in surprise when they see my situation. They quickly come to me and look me over. Then one of them points behind me. Look at this! The other paramedic comes over and sees what his partner sees. What? I demanded. What is it? Then they both look me in the face. We need to get you to the hospital. Stat, one of them says. We'll go get a stretcher and come right back. So now, I'm stuck here at Strickfield General Hospital. I just can't believe this shit. I'm stuck here in this fucking hospital bed with all this shit hooked up to me. The paramedics brought me here. The doctor looked at my back and quickly examined me, told me that I had fresh stitches in my lower back that looked professionally done. After an x-ray, I practically shit myself when the doctor told me my fucking kidneys are gone. Yeah, that's right. I'm fucking stuck here until I can get at least 1 new kidney, which I'm told could take quite a long time since I'm on a fucking waiting list and they have to wait for a kidney donor match for me. I keep telling these fuckers, I'm Calvin Mirren. I don't belong on a fucking waiting list. A lot of good my name does me now. Just then, the nurse brings me what looks like a tablet and says it was sent here with specific instructions to give it to me. I snatch the tablet from her and glare at her for a minute before she leaves. I turn on the tablet and see only a few apps. I tap the one that says, Play Me First, and immediately recognize one of the porn videos I made. I see the familiar face and now know who Kitty is. She was definitely Catherine Pierce. Not long after her video posted, she got in some serious shit with the dean at Strickfield University and ended up being expelled. I tap the app that says, Play Me Second, and see a second porn video that I made. And then, I recognize Jamie, or rather, Belinda James. She ended up in the same boat as Catherine, went before the dean, ended up getting expelled, became disgraced. Parents threw her out. Not my problem. The Play Me Third app just brought up a PDF of a term paper. I saw the big red words, copied from another student, written all over the paper, and discovered that Lena was really Raylene Jones. The night Jacob and Genevieve were both murdered, I went back to her dorm and spent the night with her. We were both in the same world history class and had a term paper due. I stole her term paper, retyped it in my own words, and submitted it as my own. When she reprinted and submitted her paper, the professor later sent it to the dean. Raylene pled her case, but she got expelled anyway. I tap Play Me Fourth and get a video of the 3 of them No Halloween costumes. Catherine had grown her hair longer than I remembered, and dyed it black. I remember Catherine was a blonde. Raylene and Belinda had been wearing wigs. They both have shorter brown hair. Catherine speaks up first. Surprise, asshole! Now you know what this is about. You took from us. Disgraced us. So we took from you. Belinda speaks up next. You have all the money in the world, yet you just kept right on taking. It wasn't enough for you to exploit us for your sexual gain. You had to keep exploiting us for even more. Well, like Catherine said, now we exploited you. Do you have any idea how much a pair of perfectly good kidneys like yours sell for on the black market? Raylene speaks now. Must have been nice to have slept with me and then get away with stealing my term paper and submitting it as your own, all while pinning what you did on me. You took from us and didn't give a shit, but guess what? You're going to be stuck in that hospital bed for probably a very long time, and then there's going to be another place you're going to be stuck in for a very long time, if you ever get another kidney. Tap the last app, and you'll see. I tap the Finish Me app and see a video of the police going through my loft and finding all the cameras. Another angle shows them finding my hard drives and servers with all my homemade porn videos. Then I hear Catherine in the background. Maybe you'll rot in prison, and maybe you won't, but we took our revenge against you. Oh, and don't bother trying to look for us. We're somewhere you'll never find us. We're applying our medical experience on the black market now, so we'll just keep looking for more rich pieces of shit like you and harvesting whatever's needed. So, this Halloween, you got the trick, and we got the treats. Thanks for your pillow sack of candy, by the way. Also, that patient I was telling you about will benefit greatly from your kidneys. In fact, I'm putting them in right now as you're watching these apps. Have a nice life. Whatever's left of it. The video ends, and then the apps all disappear. The next thing I know, 2 detectives from the Strickfield Police Department are here to see me. And I'm sure they're not here to ask me if I'm all right.
Last Stand by Rob Fields. I was looking at Empress Trinidar through my interdimensional wrist comp. Hellweaver has the reality sphere in her possession. It would only have taken her moments to breach our security protocols. Even your mentor was unable to halt her in her insane quest. My eyes went wide. You've got to be kidding me, Mom. Hellweaver actually defeated Master Shun Dao? The greatest of the entire K-Mai clan? Mom looked dismal. I was just as taken aback as you are, daughter. I narrowed my eyes. That means Hellweaver even got by Whisper. My sister? Trinidar gave me a look of sadness. Unfortunately, your sister, too, fell before Hellweaver. She was actually the last to fall before I, but she lives. I bit my lower lip. Then the 5 of us are all that's left. The Empress looked grim now. Now you understand why Queen Chaya Lan and I have agreed that it was time for the battleground to come together once more. You 5 are all that remains in the known universe who are capable of stopping Hellweaver from accomplishing her insane quest. The Battleguard must not fall to her. Suddenly, Princess Gienge Ari came into my space. My brothers and sisters and I shall pass on valiantly if we should fail to counter Hellweaver. By our lives, we shall never allow her to accomplish her insanity on this vast multiverse. And you can believe that, Mom, I quickly agreed. Trinidar continued to show distress. You 5 are our last hope now, daughter. I know your mentor, Master Shun Dao, has heavily instilled the importance of life within you. One of your finest qualities. If we must destroy Hellweaver to save the multiverse, then so be it, I replied with finality. Hellweaver shall be upon you very soon, Trinidar warned. I know where you're going with this, Mom, but if we have anything to say about it, we will see each other again. I felt an icy cold tear run down my cheek. You are biologically my aunt, but you're the only real mother I've ever known and loved. My heart is yours." Trinidar gave me a soft, compassionate look. "While you and Whisper were never born to me, you are both my young. My heart is yours." She looked hurt now. "Yengiari, I know you will stand by my daughter, as you both feel the bonds of sisterhood. You must stand by one another now more than ever." The princess's expression had never faltered. "Despair not, Empress. Thine daughter is sisterhood unto myself. You comprehend that my life is to her and hers is to mine. All of the Battleguard are of mine. Of this I am solemn with thee." "Then end communication now, and be of readiness," Trinidar commanded. Our communication ended. Yengiari put a gentle hand on my shoulder. When it came to a warrior woman like her, you wouldn't think that emotion was something she would show. This light blue-skinned, dark-haired warrior princess showed me many qualities that were prevalent in my former teammate and recently lost beloved, Halki. Though you couldn't really see her emotions in her blank, white eyes, her face said enough. "We shall achieve victory, sister." Though I was still hurting emotionally, I knew that Halki would have wanted me to go on. I was a fighter, just like Yengiari. I glanced her way. "Believe it." We turned to face the rest of the Battleguard. Carly Richmond, one of 2 third-worlders, glared at us. With Carly, she always looked pissed. Also, she always wore her cheerleading outfit from her high school. As far as she was concerned, she had been a cheerleader since she was a little girl, and that would be how she would go. The fiery red hair and blue eyes always showed off her negative feelings. "We're fucked, aren't we?" Carly was one girl that Princess Gyangiari did not have patience for. "When are we of Battleguard never not fucked, third-worlder?" "Bite me," she fired back. While she may not have liked Carly as a person, she did admire the raging inferno that burned hot within her. She was never afraid to speak her mind. "Easy, you two," I interjected. "Save your anger and rage for Hellweaver, not each other." Gyangiari's expression softened. "You speak true, sister." Carly glanced over her shoulder to Max Considine, the other third-worlder. For years, these two had known each other. While Carly grew up to be one of the popular cheerleaders at her high school, Max would belong to outcasts who came to be known as geeks, and one who would never back down from a bully, no matter how threatening he or she might have been. Max showed determination that he wouldn't back down from Hellweaver once she would arrive. Max had such a strong will that he was able to harness the very magics that he played in his card games with his friends. But Carly would prove to be the most powerful magic to him. Carly seemed to be distressed as Max approached her. "I've always been able to feel you," she snapped. "You've told me and told me, but I'll never fucking understand why you would love a bitch like me. You know you could do so much better than me." He wrapped gentle arms around her from behind. She breathed heavily, like she would turn around and strike him down. But she took hold of his arms and held him to her. "You are the only one I will ever love, Carly. You know that. I will love you until our last days, no matter what." Carly began to cry softly. Max was the only one who could make her do that very thing. "Max, you're such a fucking idiot to put up with me." She paused. "What the fuck will you do with 2 of us?" "2 of... I don't..." Max's jaw dropped. "Oh my, are you..." Carly smiled a little and nodded quickly. She took his hand and put it on her bare stomach. "I'm carrying our daughter, Max," she choked. "Almost 2 months." Max hugged her tight. She returned his affections. "We have to beat Hellweaver, Carly. We have to." I noticed that Derek Salinger had been staring off into space for quite a while. "How long?" I asked him. "We don't have much," Salinger replied. "A matter of short minutes." "Really doesn't give us much time to plan," Max said. "No," Salinger agreed. "We may have to battle Hellweaver with everything we have. We shall never relent until our Battleguard has fallen, or Hellweaver," Princess Jian Giari declared to Salinger. I was probably the only one among us that knew of Princess Jian Giari's feelings toward Salinger. She may not have noticed that I had seen how she gazed at him. I felt she would have pursued him had she not known about he and my sister Whisper. Salinger was the strongest of us by far, in terms of strength. In a way, Salinger and Carly were two of a kind. They both possessed some form of rage. Carly's rage came as a blessing from a goddess, while Salinger's was the result of bonding with an entity known as the Njek Enyo. This entity fed on the evil energies of those he did battle with. In turn, he gained great powers from the Njek Enyo. When it came to Salinger, I could easily see why Princess Jian Giari would have gladly given herself to him, if he would have only but asked her. She understood that he and my sister Whisper were with each other and never made a move to try and come between them. Jian Giari was the proud daughter of Queen Chai-Alan of Garanthan. Her mother had always wanted her to be a proper princess. She was of great royalty and would inherit her mother's crown one day. But Jian Giari had other ideas. She was not opposed to succeeding her mother, but her father was a mighty warrior who had inspired her to strive for more if she truly wanted it. She trained under many of his best warriors and other masters. She was determined to be the best of all of her father's armies. When Jian Giari's father was on his deathbed, Queen Qialan held a contest to determine who would take his place as the commander of her elite guard. Do you know the origin story of Wonder Woman? Then you know how this story plays out. The only difference was that Jian Giari didn't wear a mask to hide her identity, while Queen Qialan hadn't approved of her only daughter being in the competition. She could not stop her. It was her mother's own word that all had the right to compete for the coveted commander of the elite guard rank. Empress Trinidar learned of these warriors and gathered them, placing me among them. Our task was to help preserve peace in our universe, and together the five of us were as one. We became the Battleguard. The five of us stood together as Salinger pointed in the direction of Hellweaver. We could easily see her riding on the back of one of her winged demons in the cloudless, blood-red sky. We could even see the glow of the reality sphere in her hands. The reality sphere was an ancient artifact as old as time that would allow the bearer to shape the very fabric of reality to anything they could conceive. Hellweaver had uncovered this once-lost sphere and made a plan to transform the entire multiverse into a nightmarish realm such as her own, only on a scale many times larger. Hellweaver's winged demon had finally landed. Now it would become our sole purpose to keep her from reaching the Infinity Core, the very epicenter of the multiverse, and dropping the reality sphere into it, which would create the new reality she had forged inside of the sphere. We had to stop her, or die in our efforts. We waited and watched as Hellweaver took her time on dismounting her demon. She held the reality sphere in her arm as she saw the five of us who would be the last line of defense between her and the Infinity Core. I was the only one among us who had faced Hellweaver. Each time, she had bested me. While Salinger was the strongest of us physically, I was easily the most powerful. Even my own superpowers were limited against the demonic goddess herself. "Is this truly all that remains to face me?" Hellweaver asked, to no one in particular. Looking upon her Her appearance was much like that of a succubus. In fact, all succubi are her daughters. Hellweaver was certainly not a sexual creature, though she was every bit as beautiful as one. Her eyes were like two fiery jewels. Her horns were like blades that were attached to the sides of her head. In fact, the armor she wore around her torso and her lower region, as well as her shoulders, made her look as though she was a hybrid of demon and machine. Her hands were more claw-like than humanoid. Her claws themselves appeared to glow hot. She also had a long tail, with a very sharp point on the end. Even her metallic wings were perfect enough to allow her to fly gracefully and slice anyone unfortunate enough to get too close to her. I was unfortunate enough to be scratched by Hellweaver when I battled against her. Even though I'm bitterly cold inside, I could still feel the burning of her claws. My skin quickly healed up, but I've never forgotten that heat. Just seeing those eyes made me glad I was fast enough to be able to avoid her eye beams. Also, the fireballs and flames she could shoot from her hands and mouth. Even the end of her tail burned to the touch. I stepped in front of others and said to her, "Leave the sphere, get back on your demon and leave, you live. You stay and fight, you're as good as dead." Hellweaver's smile told us we were no match for her as she walked casually towards us. We readied our powers and weapons. "I have bested many times better than the 5 of you," Hellweaver said. "Even your beloved fell to me, Blue Girl." I choked up, but I forced my emotions back. Now was not the time for this. Hellweaver smiled again, telling me she knew that she had gotten to me. Halki put up a good fight against Hellweaver, but she... "Are you prepared to be swift for battle once more, sister?" Princess Jian-Gi-Ari asked. "Will your skills again prove grand for victory?" She was referring to my training in the Kuei Mai arts. In the beginning, Master Shaon Dihao treated me as his student. While he had never beaten me or admonished me for making mistakes, he was gentle, yet his lessons were hard. As time went on, I came to hold great respect and admiration for him. Likewise, he came to see me as his daughter and called me so. He had trained many at Kuei Mai, but I was his first that was both alien and female. I had to fight and defeat him in one final confrontation in order to be given a ranking in the clan. When Empress Trinidar had given me to him, she asked him to create a Grand Master like himself. The only way I could attain this level would be to actually defeat my master in final combat. I defeated him in a hard-fought battle to become the first and only female Grand Master in the Kuei Mai clan. Master Shan Dao gave me the Grand Master's mark, which I first wore on my arm before I attached it to the front of my choker. I faced my Battleguard sister. If I'm to die today, Jian-Gi-Ari, it'll be as both Kuei Mai and as a Battleguard. "We are not fucking dying," Carly hissed with tightened fists. "You speak true, sister," Jian-Gi-Ari agreed with grim determination. "I'm not planning on it," I further agreed, and then my blue hair shimmered and glistened as a third-world fiber-optic Noel tree would. Our final battle was about to begin. "Stand fast!" Salinger yelled. Hellweaver flew right at us. "Face me!" Suddenly, Salinger stepped up and threw 2 powerful fists at Hellweaver. The enemy was soon on her knees, but she would not fall. She lifted herself up only to feel Salinger's rage-fueled fists once more. I had never been on the receiving end of his fists thanks to my great speed, and I knew I never wished to be. Princess Jian-Gi-Ari stepped up and slammed one end of her laser bow into Hellweaver's face, into her stomach, her face again. Then she spun around and caught her in the throat. Salinger continued to punish Hellweaver so that she ended up on her knees again, but she still would not fall. Hellweaver was quickly on her feet again. She looked at us as if asking if that was all we had. I utilized my super speed and stepped in to deliver some hard fists and kicks. Utilizing my fighting skills, I sent Hellweaver flying backward, but again she remained on her feet. Max stepped forward. In his left hand he held some cards with different magic spells. With his right he unleashed his power. I quickly backed up and then ascended to the air to keep myself at a safe distance. 4 different colored energies crackled around Hellweaver. The enemy was again to her knees as Max's magics intensified. While Max's magic was very powerful, I wasn't sure how effective it would be against Hellweaver. The magics crackled and bathed Hellweaver in their powerful energies. Max's eyes glowed brightly as he fueled the magics with his powerful will. It didn't take long for Hellweaver to slowly move and return to her feet. Clearly, Max's projections were having little effect on her. I quickly assisted Max by firing ice powers from both my hands and eyes. Hellweaver slowly moved against our powers. Then I saw Max's beautiful, deadly better half step up. She had never been more enraged in her entire life. Her rage took form as dark energies crackled around her. Her eyes turned to a deadly deep shade of red, similar to Hellweaver's. Suddenly, her arms shot out and her hands released intense bolts of pure rage. Hellweaver found herself on her knees again. Princess Gyan-Gyari and Salinger could only stand by since they had no projection powers. Max suddenly stopped throwing magic. He was exhausted and would need minutes for his energies to peak before unleashing his magics again. I was focusing myself for another go at Hellweaver once the others were out of the way. "Leave her to me!" Carly yelled. "She's mine!" I hovered and watched. I also ceased my powers. Carly laughed crazily as her rage increased. We could see smoke rising from Hellweaver, to the point that she actually caught on fire. "Die!" came Carly's blood-curdling, insane scream. I never knew that a third worlder, let alone one with the rage of a goddess, could find so much hatred inside of her. Was this rage all pent up over time, or was she just a being of pure rage? "Just fucking die!" Carly screamed at the top of her lungs. In spite of how much Hellweaver burned, she absolutely would not stay down. She only sank to her knees and kept getting back to her feet. This only made Carly madder and madder. We could actually hear the humming coming from the energies that crackled from her. Her energies were now completely white, as in white hot. Carly was so pissed off now that I wasn't sure if any of us could calm her down. But Hellweaver refused to stay down. She refused to die. Hellweaver walked against Carly's power. She would not be knocked to her knees again. Salinger must have known too, because he walked up behind Carly and wrapped his arms around her midsection. Carly now screamed to the point where dark clouds suddenly formed over us. Then white lightning shot down at Hellweaver, and then I understood. Salinger was channeling the energies from the Nechk Enyo entity directly into Carly. Carly laughed maniacally as her rage grew even hotter still, but Hellweaver still would not go down. She continued to push against their combined energies. I knew she would eventually reach Carly and kill her, as well as her unborn child, if something wasn't done. I had to act immediately and hope that my icy powers would be enough to protect me against Carly's. I dropped to the ground and ran toward Hellweaver. From there, I began releasing a barrage of super speed punches. "Never!" I shouted. "You will never reach the Infinity Core!" And then Hellweaver fought back. She raised her hand and began blocking Carly's rage. She put the reality sphere down so she could grab hold of me, just like that. With one quick movement, she flung me away. Just as the fire on her body went out, she pushed forward until the lightning began to be redirected, back at Carly. Salinger quickly let her go and tossed her out of the way. I ran and caught Carly before she hit the ground. Salinger stood there and took the return lightning. All it did was crackle around him for a few moments. Then he fell to his knees. Hellweaver reached him and swiped her claws quickly to send his head flying from his shoulders. "No!" I screamed. But there was nothing I could have done. As fast as I couldn't save both Carly and Salinger. Salinger couldn't take the feedback from Carly's rage energy, and it weakened him enough for Hellweaver to end him. The remaining 4 of us attacked her with everything we had. Again, the demonic goddess refused to fall. Max took a great risk by placing his hands on Hellweaver to work a binding spell. She immediately snatched him to her and kissed him full on the mouth. Suddenly, Max exploded. The force sent Carly, Gian-Guiari, and I flying back. "Max! Oh goodness, no!" Carly shrieked. Gian-Guiari and I also gasped as we saw Hellweaver holding the charred skeleton of Max before throwing it aside. Hellweaver moved and quickly leaped at Gian-Guiari to land directly in front of her. Before she could raise her laser bow to counter, Hellweaver snatched her by her hair, turned her around, and sank her claws into her lower back. Gian-Guiari screamed only briefly as Hellweaver grabbed her very spinal cord and raised her over her head, blood starting to pour down onto her. With her free hand, Hellweaver sank her claws into the back of Gian-Guiari's neck, and then, with a minute display of her strength, Gian-Guiari in half at the waist. Her blood soaked Hellweaver instantly before she tossed the 2 halves of the body aside. Hellweaver smiled at Carly and I now, both Gian-Guiari and Max's blood soaking her. "And you 2 still dare to stand against me? Fools! Then I shall finish this." Carly and I unleashed our powers on Hellweaver again. When she took to the air, I also ascended. Then Hellweaver dove and flew right at Carly. I quickly dropped to the ground since I couldn't fly at super speed. I ran to Carly and took the wing attack that was meant for her. I shrieked as I felt Hellweaver's wing slice, burning me at my side. My icy blue blood began to seep out slowly. My blood was fast in itself and began to heal immediately. I would be fully restored in a matter of seconds. Unfortunately, I could not recover in time to prevent Hellweaver from finally grabbing Carly. "I shall show you what true power is, youngling." Hellweaver fired her eye-beams directly into Carly's eyes to burn them out. Then she placed a finger into each eye hole and discharged such enormous power into Carly's body that she screamed in intense pain, until her body finally exploded in the same way that Max's had moments before. Both Carly and her unborn child died as the result of Hellweaver's merciless attack. Hellweaver had decimated nearly all of us, single-handedly. She turned to me now. "This is your last stand, Blue Girl. Surrender yourself to me, and I shall spare your life and allow you to rule at my side." Hellweaver had offered me a place by her side, time and time again, during many of our battles. "Never!" I screamed. I focused all the power at my command and unloaded it against Hellweaver. I watched as her body began to freeze up fast, but it just wasn't enough. Hellweaver still refused to fall. Powerful as I was, I just wasn't powerful enough. And then I saw the reality sphere she held. At that moment, I now knew how to stop Hellweaver. I turned my power away from her and shifted my eye beams to the artifact. "What do you possibly hope to accomplish?" Hellweaver demanded. I focused with all my inner strength to channel my icy beams into a single laser, giving it enough intensity in that concentrated, narrow beam to actually crack the reality sphere and make it dangerously unstable. And then I fell. Hellweaver was angered now. "You have breached the reality sphere. This is Not possible! But she still refused to give up. Having come this far and so close, she still held the damaged reality sphere. Seeing that I was the only thing standing between her and the Infinity Core, she growled in grim determination and began a running charge directly towards me. Some of my strength returned instantly, and I stood again. All that was between our reality and whatever hellish reality she planned was me. I could never allow that to happen. My life for the multiverse. I channeled my inner peace one last time, the way Master Xian Diao had taught me. It was down to this final attack. As Hellweaver reached me, I fired one last concentrated icy laser beam from my eyes and directly into the reality sphere. My beam reached the very core, causing a massive explosion. Both of us were in the heart of it. Hellweaver screamed as her armor and flesh flew away from her body. That was all I saw as I was being lifted off my feet and hurling helplessly into the Infinity Core. I splashed into its cosmic waters and felt myself being bathed in the energies created from whatever was in the reality sphere and the waters of the Infinity Well combined. If this was finally my end, then I would die knowing Hellweaver had failed in creating her new multiverse and enslaving its people. The Battleguard had defeated Hellweaver. I closed my eyes and embraced my death, knowing we had given our very lives to save the multiverse. I opened my eyes and discovered that the scenery had completely changed. I was no longer at the Infinity Core or submerged within its dark waters. I was now lying on my side. I stood to my feet and looked around my new environment. Was I still within the Infinity Core? I decided to consult my wrist comp and see where I was exactly, and I found that it had performed a self-diagnostic. There was a major issue that needed my immediate attention. I looked at the readout and saw that the peritoneum circuit had become damaged beyond repair. I felt my icy heart growing heavy now. The peritoneum circuit was what allowed me to easily travel throughout the multiverse and its infinite dimensions. It was the link to the master computer back at Battlestar Hall in Universe Zero. After reading the rest of the diagnostic information, the rest of the wrist comp's vast functions were still available to me. However, without the peritoneum chip, I was both lost and marooned on this new world, and whatever reality this was. I could fly upward and into space, and could even survive in its vast vacuum, but I'd quickly become even more lost if I couldn't find any other worlds. I sighed in despair and knew that I would have to become familiar with this world that I must now call home, at least for the time being. From there I started walking. My costume was damaged in the battle against Hellweaver. This was something the wrist comp could easily remedy. After initiating a few commands, it reconfigured my costume. Instead of repairing and restoring it to its original form, it was changed. Instead of a full-body suit, I was now wearing an athletic top and a matching bottom, complete with a pair of running shoes. My frigid white skin was mostly exposed now, probably to configure with the heat and humidity I now sensed. With my new costume complete, I soon reached a dirt road. I turned and started running at super speed. Shortly, I came to an intersection. When I saw the life forms approaching, I stopped to examine them. It was a male-female couple, possibly third-worlders, sitting atop what appeared to be a chariot. In front of the chariot were two beasts with long faces, lengthy bodies, a tail, and 4 legs. I was just as surprised to see the couple as they were to see me. When the male spoke, I found that I couldn't understand him. Unfortunately, with the peritoneum circuit damaged, I couldn't use the wrist comp to translate anything into English, or any of the other languages I was fluent in. I tried speaking to them, but they couldn't understand me. No matter. I only needed to listen to them speak, or gaze upon their language for a short period of time before I would become fluent. When the couple saw that I wasn't malevolent, they allowed me to board their chariot and ride with them. The beasts pulled us until we came to the boundary of their village. By then I was able to speak what I came to know as English, which I learned was an alternate form of Anglish from Third World of Universe Zero. I also learned the couple were not husband and wife, but brother and sister. Their names were Lucius and Norma Redmont. The year was 1822, and the name of the village we were crossing into was called Strickfield, in the region of Ohio, in the continent of North America. My new world of Earth would take some getting used to. I was already enjoying the vibrant colors, including the blue sky and the yellow sun. However, like the many other worlds I've encountered, it seemed this Strickfield village had its share of foul things that would prey upon humans living here. Even though I was lost somewhere in the multiverse now, I was still a superhero. My mission would never change. However, I would have to be able to blend in among the humans, for I was the only one among them with icy white flesh and long, shimmering blue hair. For now, the Redmonts have welcomed me into their household. From there, I would learn trades to make myself useful around their farm and village. So it seems, the village of Strickfield is my new home, at least for the present and unforeseeable future. Sin by Rob Fields. I'm sitting here in this motherfucking classroom, about to lose my motherfucking shit listening to this boring motherfucking lecture. Like I give two motherfucking shits about religion. Personally, I like my other classes. I just hate the ones about a fictitious god and the stories that come out of that big book of lies called the Holy Bible. That's what I get for coming to a hellhole like Strickfield Academy. Still, this place does have its advantages. For one, it's got great food, unlike your average high school cafeteria. Two, they give you these sexy schoolgirl outfits. And three, I get away with murder here. No, really, I do get away with murder here. Listen and learn. I'm listening to Sister Mary Theodore talking about some shit called Revelations. I can't wait to get the fuck out of here. Then these two cunts get my attention. We ain't allowed to have smartphones on in classes. Let these nuns catch you with one, you're lucky if you'll ever see it again. So these two are going old school, passing notes. Personally, I don't care if people pass notes. It's the two of them hissing psst when they pass them. When I've had enough of their pssts, I snatch the note and crinkle it up, making sure the nun catches me. She comes right over and holds out her hand. "Hand it over, Elaine. Now," she snaps. "That's Laney to you," I reply, and throw the crinkled ball up front. The bitch retrieves it and reads it to herself. Then she reads the rather interesting conversation to the whole class. These two both glare at me. After the rest of the class finishes laughing at the juiciness the sister just read, the girls are both told to go see Headmistress Hiltonson. Then the bitch points at me. "You too, Elaine. Now!" I sigh and grab my books. As long as it gets me out of this fucking class. "Excuse me?" she demands. "You heard me." I've easily got the attention of the other students. They know I don't take shit from anybody, especially these fucking nuns. Oh, I know Sister Theodore wants to call me everything but a child of God. I just love pushing her buttons, but not nearly as much as I love pushing Headmistress Hiltonson's. After school, I walk into detention hall, and those two cunts are here. I think their names are Joni Sawyer and Teresa Gilmer. Yep, they're glaring right at me. 1, I got them both in trouble. 2, I only have to be in detention just today. Those 2 are here for a whole week. Ain't it funny? Those 2 are passing sexual notes to each other. I backtalked both Sister Theodore and Headmistress Hiltonson, and all I get is 1 detention period. I keep telling Hiltonson she can expel me anytime she likes, but she won't budge. Still, I cause more problems than both Janie and Teresa, and I keep getting the lesser punishments. "You're dead," Joni hisses. "After detention," Teresa adds. I roll my eyes. "Eat me." Remembering my shirt is tied up in front of me and not buttoned, I decide to provoke Joni and Teresa even more. And to show, I really don't give a fuck. I pull down my bra and shake my tits for them. I even get the appropriate reactions from everybody else in here. Joni and Teresa are out of their seats and ready to lunge at me when I quickly sit down. Sister Theodore, who's in charge of detention hall this week, comes in. I'm laughing inside when she points right at those 2 and tells them they'll be in detention all next week too. Teresa points right at me. "She just flashed her fucking tits at us." Bad move. Sister Theodore not only kicks them both out of detention hall, but she tacks on 2 more weeks for the F-bomb and the vulgar bodily reference. Her words. I'm serving my detention by reading my Bible. Oh no, I never read the false words of the fictitious God. No, I read a completely different Bible. To the naked eye, it looks like a copy of the Holy Bible, but what I'm really reading are the words of Hellweaver. There's no name for this Bible that I'm aware of. I found it when I was swimming naked in the Castalia River, next to some caves 2 weeks ago. I got out of the water and went into the cave where I was going to spend the night. Get the idea yet? I'm a fucking runaway. I ran away from home when I was 12. Believe it or not, I came from a very rich family. Probably not as rich as these Mirrens living in Strickfield, but our family never wanted for anything. And that was the big problem right there. You'd think I'd be so happy with having money and power. The problem was money just didn't interest me. It's fucking toilet paper. Then there was the whole society thing and the government bullshit. To put it mildly, I just do not respect or appreciate being told what to do. I fucking hate rules. I fucking hate society. On my 12th birthday, I couldn't take it anymore. I left that huge fucking mansion in Los Angeles with only the clothes on my back. I didn't take my smartphone or any money. Why? I can just steal whatever I want. Through the years, I've paid my dues. I got my ass kicked. I learned to kick ass. I've even killed people. I learned so much in the wild that if it was a profession, I could have made big money. Anyway, I kept wandering from place to place, stealing everything I needed or living off the land. I'm currently 19 years old and doing just fine. Why did I come to Strickfield? I just happened to jump off a train in that area. As I walked the tracks, 2 girls wearing Strickfield Academy uniforms decided to fuck with me. When they decided to jump me from behind, I grabbed one girl and snapped her neck. Then I grabbed the other one and bit a huge chunk of flesh right out of her neck. She bled all over me before she fell over and died. I took both of their uniforms and washed them in the nearby river. Curiosity got the better of me, and I wanted to see what Strickfield Academy was all about. After checking it out and seeing the place was pretty much a parochial school for fucking rich brats, I decided to settle down here for the time being. Unfortunately, you needed money to go here, so I had to steal some. Far from that, getting in here was easy peasy. Getting back to swimming naked in the river, I was staying at this nearby cave. I got done swimming and was sitting down. I had a fire going and was eating a hot dog I was cooking on it. While I was eating, I saw something interesting sticking out a little further in the cave. I got up and went to look. I found and uncovered this big, thick book. A copy of the Bible? Fuck no! Who the hell would bury that fucking book in here? No. Someone buried this particular book to keep it secret. I took it back to my fire and opened it. The text was in some language I'd never seen before. Funny thing, though, I found I could both read and understand the words. I'm not any special kind of girl with powers or anything. The only other language I could speak fluently was Spanish. But there I was, reading away. I read about a demonic goddess called Hellweaver. Turns out she was banished to the hellish dimension known as perdition. Hellweaver battled with an alien girl known as Janessa. Hellweaver was going to use the reality sphere to change the entire multiverse into a hellish one of her desire. Janessa had done the unthinkable and damaged the reality sphere to where it exploded. This Bible doesn't say what happened to Janessa, but Hellweaver found herself banished and imprisoned in perdition, where she remains trapped to this day. Hellweaver had been able to communicate with other beings, which would explain how this Bible was created. Hellweaver had been trying to escape perdition for eons. There were two ways to free Hellweaver. One, find the reality sphere and throw it into the Infinity Core. But since us mortals can't exactly move through time and space, Hellweaver had to find another way. And she did. It's a long process, but if done correctly, it would weaken and shatter the barriers that keep Hellweaver locked in perdition. In fact, that's what I'm reading about again here in detention right now. First, Hellweaver needs a disciple, an advocate, someone who's willing to give herself to Hellweaver. I already told you how sick I am of this fucking world, about everything being about money and rules. The more I'm reading these passages, the more I'm absolutely sure I want to commit myself to Hellweaver. Once I succeed in bringing her into our world, she can do what this Janessa kept her from doing, however long ago that was. The first step to becoming Hellweaver's advocate is to prove to her that I'm willing to do whatever it takes. In fact, that's what's going to happen after detention. 30 minutes go by quickly. Sister Theodore says we can leave. I repack my Bible and slide my backpack on. Sure enough, as soon as I leave through the gates of Strickfield Academy, Joni and Teresa are waiting for me, and they made it a point to bring friends. Teresa has a wicked smirk. "We're gonna fuck you up." "Should we kick or kill her ass?" Predatory asks. "Kill her ass!" Joni immediately answers. Then she takes a switchblade out and shows me the glistening steel. "After we cut off her tits." I smile a sexy smile. "What, these old things?" I pull my bra down and flash them all now. "Get her!" Peta yells. I quickly turn and run. I can hear all those bitches right behind me. I won't be able to outrun them, especially with the weight of my Hellweaver Bible in my backpack, but I can keep some distance in between me and them. Unlike them, I'm in great physical shape, thanks to enough years of exercising, and also running from the cops. I lead them to the abandoned house I've been staying at. When I reach it, I move to a basement window and throw my backpack in before I slide right in myself. I'm already moving up the stairway with my backpack when the bitches reach the window and start coming in. It takes the bitches long enough, but they finally find me sitting at a windowsill of what used to be the master bedroom, and my tits are still out for them to see. Joni points right at me. "Nowhere left to run. You are so fucking dead." I laugh. "Well, I'm right here. Come and get me." When they come for me, I pull 2 hunting knives out from behind me and go at 'em. The bitches are finding out this girl's got moves. In under 2 minutes, I've got multiple dead bodies all over the floor. I lick the blood off both knives before I put them down. You babes made me feel so dirty. I purr as I start taking my clothes off. I think I need a bath. When I'm fully naked, I look at the bodies, and you can help me fill the tub. I step into the full tub and lower my naked body into the blood. When I'm seated, I sink underneath the blood for a long moment and come back up. Those girls were more than enough to fill this tub. Their blood is so rich, so warm, and so sticky. No, I'm not taking after that blood countess. This blood won't let me retain my youth and hotness. Also, I'm pretty sure none of it is virgin blood. No, the first step to becoming Hellweaver's advocate is to wash yourself in the blood of your own kind. Mortals. I moan softly and scoop some blood into both hands. I bring them up and pour it over my face and hair. I bathe in this blood for several minutes before I get out of the tub and proceed to the second step. I lower myself to my knees and pick up one of the hearts I extracted from those girls. I don't even think about it as I bring it to my mouth and start eating. I have to eat all the hearts of those sinful mortals I killed for their blood. They couldn't be innocent hearts. I kept a close eye on this particular group. They didn't just bully other students at the academy. They sometimes beat them within an inch of their lives. They also committed burglaries and hurt the people they stole from, sometimes severely. I needed to show I was even more merciless than they were and would do whatever it took to win Hellweaver's favor. These hearts are actually delicious. In case you haven't figured it out, I've eaten other humans for food many times. Kill or be killed, that's how this world works. My tummy's really full, and I have one heart left to eat. I have to force myself to. I feel like I'm ready to burst. I feel like I'm going to puke. I keep taking in deep breaths until I'm starting to feel better, but I do finish eating that final heart. Now for the third and final step. I must summon Hellweaver herself and have her come before me. The Bible is already open to the pages I need. Then I light enough candles to illuminate this whole room for the ritual. Note, it's still daylight yet. I kneel down in front of the pages and start reading the incantations. When I finish, this light appears near me. I shriek with such happiness when I finally see her. Hellweaver is so very beautiful. I've only seen the renderings of her in this Bible, but they don't do her justice. Even though she appears before me, she's not really here. It's just a manifestation of herself from perdition. She's still trapped there until I can free her, which will take much longer than the summoning ritual I just did. I turn my body to face Hellweaver, but remain on my knees. It's really you! Hellweaver smiles and takes firm hold of my chin. And you are the first mortal to perform the ritual. This goddess is, the best way I can describe her, an amped-up version of a succubus. I mean, she's a combination of whatever makes up her flesh and her armor. The blank, fiery gems that are her eyes look deep into mine. You're so beautiful, I choke out. I love you. Hellweaver's still smiling. I have never seen or felt such devotion from one among your mortal kind. Please, please let me serve you, I beg her. She still holds my chin. I can feel that you abhor authority. Why would you now obey me? Because I want to free you, I reply. I want you to destroy this world and remake it the way you desire. I hate my people. I hate this world, what it's become. I want there to be hell on earth. I can feel myself crying now. I swear my eternal loyalty to you, my Hellweaver. I'll obey your every command, whatever you want. Name it. Hellweaver smiles again. Interesting. None have ever cried for me before. I've read your words, I reply. You're real. You're not a false god. I want to free you and be by your side. I'm crying more now. I love you, I choke out again. She lets go of my chin. Rise. She takes my hand and helps me to my feet. She takes a kind of motherly hold of my face as she looks into my teary eyes again. You have proven to me that you can become my advocate, Laney Listor. But you haven't just proven yourself to me, my daughter. You even feel for me. This is a first for both a disciple and a mortal. It was so easy for you to bathe in the foul blood of your own kind. However, eating all of their hearts was something only you have succeeded in doing. It shows that you would give your very existence to serve me. And you do not fear me. I do not know whether you are foolish or... I don't fear you because I love you, I cry. Do I need to prove myself more to show you that? Hellweaver considers me now. Come with me, my child. There is one way you shall prove your love for me. Suddenly, everything changes. Now I find myself in an extravagant bedroom. I know exactly where I am. This is my old house. I ran away from here when I was 12. Hellweaver folds her arms in front of her. You left your family at such a young age, especially when you had everything you could ever want. I hated my family, I growled. Everything was all about money and power. They were always forcing their ways on me, smothering me. This house felt like a fucking prison. I had to run away, and when I did, they wouldn't stop coming after me. Not because they loved me, but because they wanted to prove their power and superiority. Then prove yours. Sever your ties with your family completely. Kill them. Kill all of them. Suddenly, an ancient-looking dagger appears in front of me. Do to them what you did to your enemies to summon me. Show me that you truly love and cherish only me. Do this act without mercy, and you shall be reborn unto me. I take the dagger and start moving throughout the house. Oh, the servants are quite surprised when they see me naked and soaked with blood. And that's the last thing they see before I use the dagger to kill them. Wow, my parents sure had a lot of servants. Next, I find my brothers and sisters, and I kill them too. A few of them don't recognize me because they were born after I ran away. As for my older siblings, they recognize me immediately. Being naked and bloody certainly gives me an advantage, huh? Now it's down to only my parents. I find Mom and Dad sitting in bed together and watching TV. No surprise the two of them aren't fucking as many kids as they've had together. Boy, do they ever shit when they see me. Elena? Mom gasps. Good God! Dad practically chokes out. I don't waste time and march right to their bed and slaughter them. I don't just give them a few stabs. I fucking lay into them. I hate them both so much that I viciously stab them multiple times. When their blood splashes on me, I rub it into the blood already on my body. Then I put the dagger down and tear them both open. I soak my hands in their blood and wet myself more with it. I even wash my face and hair with it. My Hellweaver watches me. Do you want me to eat their hearts too? I ask. Yes. I'm still very full from the other hearts I've already eaten, but I don't hesitate. I reach inside my parents and pull their hearts out. I eat them both in front of my Hellweaver. Much to my surprise, my tummy doesn't burst as I finish both of them. I love you, I tell her again. Anything you demand, I will do. She approaches me. Indeed, you have won my love, my child. You may yet serve me and rule at my side. But for you to do so, you must be reborn. You must shed your mortal roots. You must allow me to both destroy and remake you. This is all that I further require for you to be my true daughter. Will you knowingly and willingly give yourself unto me, body and soul? I look into the goddess's eyes. I give you my everything. Hurt me, torture me, abuse me any way you like. I'll prove my loyalty and love to you again and again. Anything. Make me yours. Very well. Then you shall be reborn unto me. The scenery changes again. We're in a temple, right in front of an altar. Even though Hellweaver can't leave perdition, she's able to bring me into her realm. My goddess lifts me into her arms and places me on the altar. Now she has fangs just like a vampire and sinks them deep into my neck. I moan hard as she drinks my blood. Next, she easily pushes her hot claws into my stomach. I'm in serious pain, especially when I feel her hand on my heart. The pain becomes so intense, I don't think anybody has ever felt this. I grit my teeth and want to scream so badly. My goddess stops drinking from me. Drink the pain in, my child. Accept and relish it. This is how you will shed your mortal roots and become my true daughter. Give yourself to me, body and soul. You must. Yes, I scream. Now I can see my beating heart in her hand as she pulls it right out of me. Next, my body begins to burn with her fire. The pain is terrible now as I feel my flesh and muscles burning right off my body. Soon I can feel I'm just a charred skeleton. I'm laying there helplessly as my Hellweaver devours my heart. I'm only a skeleton with just my eyes left. I look up at my beautiful goddess in all of her glory as she finishes eating my beating heart. Now she looks at me. You shall die and relinquish the mortal realm. You shall be reborn unto me very soon. I feel myself being levitated off the altar. Now I feel my skeleton disintegrating until there's literally nothing left of me. I'm dead, and yet I'm not. Now I'm in some kind of liquid, and I see something attached to my tummy, like a cord. I can see how tiny I truly am now. And then I realize what my Hellweaver meant when she said I had to be reborn unto her. I'm literally inside the goddess's womb, and she's pregnant with me. I'm literally watching my own birth as I grow inside my new mother. When the time comes, I can see myself being pushed out of her own body. I'm a baby all over again. I watch and feel myself grow and mature as my new mother feeds me from her own bountiful breasts and nurtures me. She teaches me everything I need to know, re-educating me. She gives all of herself to me, as an excellent mother would do with a child she truly loves. Until finally, I'm a full adult once again, as I wake up and find I'm in my own bed, in my new chambers. My new mother is at my bedside. Rise, my daughter, you have truly been reborn unto me. I sit up and face my new mother. Then she takes my hand so I can stand. She brings me to a walled mirror. I'm naked and I scream when I see my new body for the first time ever. My hair was just a dirty color before. Now it's a mix of flaming red and yellow. My eyes still look mortal, but now they're as red as my mother's. My tits were already sexy before, but now they're as big as mother's. I'm the sexiest I've ever looked. If I do say so, I'm the most beautiful thing that's ever existed now. Next to my mother, of course. I know I'm not mortal anymore. Truly I have been reborn through mother. I quickly kneel before my new mother and cry again. I don't deserve this. Mother caresses my cheek and smiles. There is no return for you now. From the moment I birthed you, you truly became my daughter and my child. You ceased being Laney Listor when you surrendered yourself unto me, and now I shall give you a new name. From this moment forward, your name shall be Sin. Simply Sin, for you abound with so much of it. more than any other being I have ever encountered. She caresses my cheek again. Arise, sin, and stand with me. As of now, you rule at my side. I obey Mother and stand in front of her. You are entrusted to complete the ritual, to release your mother from this prison that is perdition, and to help me see my vision for this multiverse to its end. I gaze into her eyes. Yes, Mother, I will not fail you. I cry again. Now she leans in and licks some of my tears away. Must you continue to cry? I can't help it, Mother. I love you so deeply, and you've truly blessed me with your love. That's why I know I can't fail you. Use the power I have given you, Sin. You are no longer mortal. Your power is now second only to my own. She presents me with new clothes to put on my new body. You shall return to Strickfield, to the exact moment when you summon me. From there you shall accomplish the first task needed for the ritual. Also, I have a second disciple on your world, my high priest. I have placed this knowledge within your mind as well. You shall know of my high priest once the two of you encounter one another. As I dress, I will myself to change. I now have wings and horns that are metallic and razor sharp, just like my beautiful mother. My outfit is an armored bra and panties set with open-toed stiletto boots. Mother is most pleased when she looks at me. Shall I begin now, Mother? I ask eagerly. Yes. The next morning, I'm walking the halls of Strickfield Academy. You wouldn't believe all the heads I'm turning now. The nuns are looking at me with such anger. Mother has truly given me a beautiful new body, and even greater beauty. I am Sin now, but I'll resume being Laney Listor while in the mortal realm. I'm also in my human form, by the way. I'm only going to be here long enough to claim the heart of one of these nuns. It can't be just any nun, however. It must be one who's, shall we say, a wolf in sheep's clothing. Mother assured me that my new powers will allow me to find such a nun here easily. You will always find hypocritical, false servants within your churches or places that profess to follow in the path of their fictitious god. You will see their sins on them as plain as mortal days. And no sooner do I walk right past Sister Mary Theodore. Wow, this fucking nun reeks of sin. In fact, I can smell fresh sex right on her. Elaine Listor, she yells at me. Over here, now. I walk right over to her eagerly. She's looking me over now. As usual, I have my uniform shirt tied in a knot in front of me, showing off my tight bra with my new juicies ready to burst out. This time, I've got a belly button stud on, which is against the rules here. She grabs my arm and pulls me into an empty classroom. Get in here right now, you Jezebel! Then she pulls the door shut. When she turns and glares at me, I immediately notice she's looking me over more. What? You don't want me to go to Headmistress Hiltonson's office again? I purr softly. She's looking at my belly button stud. Remove that! Now! I smile a very toothy smile. Remove this? I untie my shirt and shake myself a little to let it drop to the floor. She's ready to give me hell again, but I can literally feel the lust welling up inside her. No? I whisper. Okay, maybe this. I grab the front of my bra, break it open and let it drop to the floor. Then I grab the nun and lock her in a deep, lustful kiss. She kisses me back with the same hunger and feels me up. Soon I let her strip me naked. Then I unzip the back of her habit and watch it fall to reveal she's not wearing anything underneath. Makes me wonder how many of her so-called God's commandments she's broken here at Strickfield Academy, including the one on committing adultery. I kiss her some more and caress her this time. For the record, I'm not going to have sex with her. I'm here with this wretched, sinful nun for one reason only. I feel her up a little longer before I will my fingernails to become claws and slide them into her flesh like butter. She only manages a gasp as I quickly rip her flesh open right up the middle. I reach up into Sister Theodore's ribcage and remove her corrupt heart. I hold the dripping trophy in front of me to examine it. Yes, this is perfect. Well done, daughter. Now you must continue, I hear my mother in my mind. Yes, mother, your every wish is my command. This is only the first piece for the ritual to free mother. There are many other pieces to obtain. A few more will be easy, while others will be most difficult. But I will free mother. She will reshape this multiverse in her image. I'll be right there by her side to see it all happen. All life will be enslaved to her will, including you.
Tomorrow, Calvin Mirren gets his second chance. But second chances don't come free, especially when Hellweaver's involved. Will Calvin outsmart fate or end up back on the slab? Don't miss episode 3 of our summer miniseries, Deadly Second Chances, dropping tomorrow right here on Weekly Spooky. Trust me, this is the one where things get messy.